Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Jedi, Sith, and especially Mandalorians, to a double stacked, action packed edition of Mandomania. Ooh, yeah, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry we missed you guys last week. Unfortunately, our schedules couldn't get synced up with one another. I dropped the ball. We had things both on our ends, and we just couldn't coincide.
Maybe you guys had things in your ends, but I had nothing on my ends. Okay, thanks. Nothing goes. I'm not that Greek, bro.
Okay, Doc is feeling happy because he just came from his AA meeting. So welcome, Doc.
Yeah.
Aside... AA is for quitters. Now, can I get the show intro in, please?
Sorry.
Thank you. When it comes crashing down and it burns inside, Doc's going to steal your thunder no matter which way it's coming. But regardless of that, we're going to have a review show tonight for Mandomania, reviewing Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. I am 1/3 of the NFO, the New Force Order. This is our Mandalorian review show, spoiler-filled, heavy. My name is Greek God Papadon, a.k.a. GGP. Alongside with me, my co-hosts from the New Force Order, my brothers in a galaxy far, far away. No intro needed because I'm being lazy. Smarten up the marks.
I am the Dark Lord of the podcast, the Sith Ori, the Rampaging Reverend Kiss, the Butcher, your boy Spiro, aka Darth Spiridon.
And I am smarter than 21B, more technical than FX7, the Mandalorian of your dreams, Dr. Arroyo, Alex. Hold on. Dr. Destroyo, Alex Arroyo. My bad. Jeez, I fell on my own intro.
Are you kidding me, dude?
I am Dr. Arroyo. That's true. My mother calls me all the time. So
your mom calls you Dr. Arroyo?
She does, man. She's pretty proud.
She doesn't call you, what do Spanish people call their kids? Que lindo!
Papi chulo?
Papi chulo.
Put down the toy. Come here. And then she takes out the chancla. If you don't listen, hit you on the side of the head.
I got a lot of those in my life. Don't worry. She's Italian, though. She's not Puerto Rican, my mother.
Oh, your mom's not Puerto Rican? Your dad was Puerto Rican?
Yep.
Oh, so your mom's Italian. Mm-hmm. She, hey, what's the matter with you? Put down the Vader. Come over here and eat your meatball. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Apafangu, huh? Anyhow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy hour is over. Try your waitress. Tip the veal. We're going to be talking about the greatest thing Star Wars has done in the Disney era, The Mandalorian. And what we're doing is we're going to be talking about Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Chapter 5 last week was filmed or directed by none other than Dave Filoni. Star Wars heir to the throne, if you will, in my opinion. And I believe it was called The Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger.
Slinging guns, tons of fun. That was the name of it. So, what do you guys think of the episode?
I enjoyed it. Again, I feel like we're on this mission of the week kind of thing where we're bouncing back and forth to, story to story. And if you didn't watch Chapter 5 last week, you could have watched Chapter 6 without anything changing. Those episodes could have been interchangeable on top of each other because nothing kind of carried over to the next one. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. It was action-packed. We got to see some new characters, and then we got to see them disappear again. So in typical Mandalorian fashion that we're learning right now, it's like the Star Wars Game of Thrones where they're just kicking everybody out. But I thought it was a good episode.
Okay, we're talking about 5, right?
Yes, 5.
5. Well, I gotta tell you, man, I've been enjoying this series greatly. I do agree that it's the best thing that Disney has done on their watch. But at the same time, I got to say it again, this is starting to feel like the old A-Team show. It's
exactly.
This series isn't what I thought it would be. Am I disappointed? No, not so much really. But it's just I don't know, man. I didn't sign up for a show that was gonna feel like the fucking A Team. As much as I love the fucking A Team, the A Team worked because that's what they set out to do. Um, and at the same time, they did move the whole story forward about them being chased by the army. There was always something there.
Yeah.
With this one, I'm gonna say something right now, and this is gonna be considered blasphemy. I'm over Baby Yoda. Okay, I'm over it.
I'm gonna
They
steal
ain't-
a. I'm
they're
gonna
not.
steal a line from Greta Thunderbird. How
How
dare
dare
you?
you?
How dare
Exactly.
you?
How
How
dare
dare
I?
you talk about my baby Yoda?
Spiro,
But
I'll tell you something funny before you go on your rant that relates
yeah,
directly to that. So, when I got home from work this afternoon,
You
I
don't know
turned to
how
my
to work.
son. What happened?
You don't know how to work, kid.
Yes, I know.
oh
I,
shit.
I turned to my little son, my 4-year-old. I said, Grayson, you want to watch the Baby Yoda show? And he goes, No, Baby Yoda is not cute anymore. I'm done with Baby Yoda.
He probably gets that
Uh,
divaness from your wife. I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. I popped. So Grayson is with you. Baby
the
Yoda
dark
is not
side's
over for him
strong in him.
anymore.
Listen, man. And again, I'm talking strictly up until episode 5 now, but that's how this episode made me feel. It was a good episode. Didn't do shit for the overall story. Again, I feel like Baby Yoda is just eye candy, something to sell. Um, yeah, man. I mean, that's just it. I mean, and
You
again, yeah,
guys,
I feel like all these actors. I don't know if it's a budget thing, but are these people not returning because well, we know Disney can afford them, but are they doing this just to fucking save money to cut costs? Because they've introduced some really good characters,
all right. I gotta lay the smackdown on
and
both of
we're
you
not
brony
seeing them.
asses.
You know,
I gotta tell you guys the deal. I'm not gonna do it in a cheeky voice, baby, but I'm gonna be honest with you boys.
Oh, we're gonna get smartened up.
You guys are gonna get smartened up big time. Listen,
I can't wait to hear this.
this series is called The Mandalorian. It's not called The Mandalorian and his amazing friends who are joining him on this ride. So these are people are getting introduced now. They'll have bigger roles in season 2, season 3, season 8 if it goes out long.
Not if
Whatever.
they're dead.
They're not all dead. Relax there, Slappy. So, with that being said, there's only 8 episodes. Usually a series, especially a half-hour series, has about 22 episodes in a season. So this has not even a third, less than a third of episodes available. So how are they approaching this? To me, it's like to me, I'm looking at it. It's like Clone Wars, where they used to have 3-episode arcs, and episode 4 had nothing to do with the three episodes prior.
Yeah.
First 3 episodes in conjuncture introduced the entire universe, the landscape, the characters, the shock value. It was great. Episode 4, some say, it was a filler. I loved it because it kind of showed the intimacy of the Mandalorian that you didn't see in the first 3 episodes. We saw Cara Dune.
Mhm.
Episode 5, which we're touching base on now, I loved as well because it was a total throwback to all the people who love Star Wars. You had Tatooine, you had all the Mos Eisley Cantina. You saw the difference, and they explained the difference, in my opinion, why Tatooine looks so different, because there's no more Hutt cartel to run all the business with the scum and villainy. So everything is like empty, and business has slowed down.
Yeah.
So it's 8 years after, or 9 years after episode 4. So things change, obviously, once they kill the big baddie, which was Jabba, who lived on that planet in Return of the Jedi 5 years prior. So
You mean
this
episode
guy,
5?
no, what do you mean 5?
You said
Mos Eisley was in episode 4.
episode. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Yes. 9 years out. Yes. Okay. I'm with you. Sorry. Don't tell me at the end of the Jedi. My bad. Continue.
Thank you, boss. Oh, malaka. So, with that being said, this is going to be like a Flash Gordon serial series or a team series because this guy he's not part of the guild anymore. He has no friends in high places. He has nothing but a little green sidekick. And all he can do is travel from place to place in order to make enough money to scrounge by like an indie wrestler, if you will. And that's basically it. So every episode's going to be a mission. Obviously, episode 4, he was looking for a sanctuary so he can lay low for a few months or some time. It backfired. Episode 5, he goes back to Tatooine because his ship got banged up in that firefight in the first couple of minutes. And when he lands on Tatooine, they have to repair his ship. So he went to go look for work. Where does he go? Mos Eisley, which is the biggest wretched hive of scum and villainy known to anyone in the Star Wars universe. Or it was.
Well, it was.
It
right.
was.
Yeah.
Okay. But they explained that. So I like that aspect. I like the fact that things change, but yet the scenery, the shots from episode 4 to this.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was almost like.
Yeah, but listen, man, the thing about that is, and this is a problem that Star Wars has had since The Last Jedi. Let me tell you something. Again, I enjoy this series. I fucking love it. But I feel that they're trying to move and they're trying to do things that they're trying to do too many things and shows too many things. I don't know if it's fan service or what, but I feel that they're neglecting the overall arc, so to speak, because sure, he's on the run now, but there's people hunting him, and we're not really seeing that though. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean you're not seeing that?
I mean, okay, the episode 4 where they had that sniper at the end, that was a nice touch. That was a good way to remind the fans, hey, by the way, this is a man on the run, and they
started episode 5 with him in space getting chased by a guy in a ship.
Okay, then what happens?
He pulled
fucking jobber.
He pulled a Top Gun move. The guy stole his tagline, and then he said, "That's my line," and he blew him to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, that the corny, cheesy shit. Which that's fine. That's fine.
But then when bootleg Han Solo gets smartened up, and he does the heel turn at the end of episode 5. What happens? The guy points a gun to Baby Yoda's head. This guy needs to go to hell.
Oh, How dare
you?
Yeah,
it's like
that's just it. And that's just it. I feel that we're getting a lot of these fucking corny throwback to the 80s bonus corny character of the week and shit. Man. And
So Spiro, I think everybody was walking into this thinking it was going to be something completely different than it actually turned out to be.
Yeah.
I was hoping for bounty hunter heavy, him, tracking this, doing this. No, I know, but I'm saying, but like, as in like the old ones that we saw, we were all hoping for Boba to pop out. We were
at the end of the episode. You guys
that's not Boba. Don't get your dick all hard. We had, like you said, this is not what I expected. It's definitely not what I expected. They're doing even the music is like an 80s.
The music is amazing.
It is but it is a throwback to like an 80s kind of thing.
No, it's not throwback to 80s.
Yes,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
The music is that was the Chips trailer I gave you guys. What are you guys talking about? That's the 80s music.
That was hilarious. You guys haven't seen that, find that. I think we posted it on the website.
This thing, the music, in my opinion, is a throwback to westerns and samurai and kung fu.
Right. Yes.
Okay, this is just like Kung Fu or the Incredible Hulk, where he's hitchhiking at the end of every episode. Instead, this guy's flying away in the Razor Crest. Every episode, some of it's maybe tied together, but we got to realize one thing: they weren't going to put 8 episodes. They're going to come in gangbusters hot, and for 8 episodes, they're just going to play one long storyline. The storyline is the life of a freaking guy on the run. That's the storyline. And certain episodes are going to be a high, certain episodes are going to be low. Everything's going to be held against them. I think personally, in my opinion, They're doing a fantastic job. I didn't know what to expect, so I went in with no expectations.
Yep.
Maybe that's where we differ. But regardless of whether or not, how we approach the scenario, you gotta say one thing. I mean, let's face it. This feels like Star Wars. Expected, whether you expected strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate, and they gave us pistachio. At the end of the day, it's still ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's your comeback. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Stop hating Beast's ball. You're done with that.
I agree with you. But it definitely, like, I'm with Spiro. It has this 80s feel to it that I think they purposely did, obviously, because they're not going to do that inorganically. But I would have liked, the thing I would like to see is a little more linkage between each episode. Yeah. They only give us 8 episodes. I want to see a link between something. Like, we saw IG-11 in the beginning, and then boom, dead. We see Cara Dune for one episode, and then disappears. We got Cho Han, whatever her name is.
Yeah, but dude, you guys gotta understand. I just told you guys, it's called the Mandalorian. It's not called the Mandalorian with Firestar and Iceman.
I get it.
What it is, okay, listen, man. The thing is, look at the competition out there. Look at all the original content on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. There's a lot of shows that are heavy, and I'm not saying that the Mandalorian lacks this. Well, it lacks it, a little bit, but it doesn't have that linkage that all the top shows have from episode to episode, But listen, man, that aside, this is still the best thing Disney has done with this fucking property.
100%.
Where all three of us, I'm sure, agreed that it's a good show. It's a great show because it's Star Wars. And what's better than fucking Star Wars?
More fucking Star Wars, duh.
And good Star Wars.
Of course.
Right? Yeah, so,
So let's let the fans hear. Let's give a rundown of the episode. I don't really remember it much. I've seen it once or twice.
So you want to talk about then, the fucking state of Tatooine then?
Well, listen.
Tatooine's a fucking mess. Is a hot mess. Poor, Mandalorian pulls out of hyperspace. He gets immediately dropped on by somebody who's tracking his bounty. Like Pop said, he totally fucked the dude up. Played a Top Gun move, smashed back into him. And then his ship is wrecked. He lands with fucking Rita Perlman over there, Danny DeVito's wife, on the planet.
That's not Rita Perlman.
I know. The chick with the curly hair. She looks like Rita Perlman. And she again, okay, so you get the slapstick, Marvel humor that's kind of thrown in there with her. She
reminded me of a waitress you might see at fucking Mel's Diner.
Mel's Diner, exactly.
Kiss my grits.
He was definitely giving him the sass, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And then he, those little probe droids from fucking episode 1 were there. The one you tap on the nose and they follow the whole. So, okay, good. You get your initial throwback over there.
All right. Well,
I just thought about something. Is she in Watto's junkyard? I just thought about that just now.
No, she was in a docking bay, dude.
Yeah, I know, but is it? It's possible. I don't know. I gotta look. I gotta look at the Watto location.
Let me ask you this, okay?
Yes, ask me.
A lot of people were upset about this episode. There were a little bit of divisiveness because of this episode. Some people loved it because of all the throwbacks, like myself. Some people felt like the storyline. Some people felt the storyline in this episode was whack, and it was too much throwbacks, and they used the word fan service as a negative. Do you guys, and this is your personal opinion, because I personally feel there's no such thing as bad fan service. Do you guys feel there's something as bad service or too much fan service?
Well, all right, Doc, go ahead.
So, if they're doing it just to do it and not make sense in the story, then I have a little bit of a problem with it. Josh from Den of Nerds said he didn't like Solo a lot because he felt it was all fan service. They were giving us all these 12 parsecs and where you get the gun from and everything like that. And do we need that stuff? Man, I actually enjoyed it. I appreciated seeing the backstory from there, us knowing the bits and pieces from there. I actually enjoyed the fan service in that episode. Was it too much? Maybe it got there a little bit. But but everything made sense in the whole scheme of things. Yeah, they threw the Tuscans in. Yeah, they went to the bar.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
was
was
that thing.
amazing with the
We'll get
Tuscans.
we'll get there.
The helmets on the pikes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Love that.
So I think they did it well, and they didn't completely beat you over the head with it. But you're at Tatooine, you're gonna want that fan service because you're in one of the most famous planets in the whole Star Wars lore. I mean, so you have to see that stuff.
And all
It's
the
not like
sci-fi,
we're not gonna it's like we're not gonna see that stuff. So I had no problem with the amount of fan service they gave for this episode.
Me, man, I'll tell you, man, I didn't have a fucking issue with it at all. I thought it was great. Fan service is always good. The only time I have a problem with it, and it's not with the fan service itself, but it's with the studio. No, well, him, I fucking just have a fucking, issue in fucking general. But the only time I have a problem is when it's so blatant and so obvious that they're using it in order to fill in or to cover up the lack of a fucking story.
Yeah.
And it was a good episode. I fucking enjoyed it. But again, when I didn't get a good enough of a connection or that link to what's going on in the overall arc, it's like I felt like, what the fuck, man?
What is
the season's
arc?
about to come. Okay, the guy.
Answer me that one question.
We don't know what the overall arc is because we haven't seen it.
This is the thing, man. You got Baby Yoda, the biggest thing since fucking sliced bread, and they're not doing shit with him. All he's doing is there to look cute. He's just there to look cute to sell the motherfucker.
No, you're wrong. You are 130,000% wrong.
That's a lot. Let me explain
why.
You can only get past 100.
About Disney, bro.
No, forget Disney. Forget Disney.
Starting on the Mandalorian.
Look,
we're talking about Disney.
The show is called The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Not Baby Yoda. The show's not called Baby Yoda.
Okay.
Baby Yoda, listen, Baby Yoda is there as the angel on his shoulder, while everybody else in the galaxy is the devil on his other shoulder. He's as good. He's the reminder that he has a conscience, or that he has an honor roll, and he has to think of the greater good. That's what it is. He has to remind the Mandalorian who he is from time to time, and it could be a visual reminder. It could be through his actions. It could be through him wanting to play with that silver ball, whatever. But we saw it, okay? He gave him in for the Beskar, got the Beskar, then realized he did the wrong thing, right? And got him back. So that's that.
I think his past had more to do with it.
Absolutely.
You're probably right, but we'll get there eventually. It's a marathon.
I think Pop is right that it's going to be Yoda who saves him on the whatever planet he's at.
Well, whoever it could be everybody. It could be freaking Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin. It could be Mandalorians, whatever. All I'm saying is, Baby Yoda, because he's over, it's like trying to give somebody who's so over the championship belt. He doesn't need it. The belt is sometimes used to get people over. In this certain case, Yoda's already over, but he's not the star of the show. The star of the show is supposed to be the Mandalorian, aka Brandon Wayne, John Wayne's grandson, aka Pedro Pascal. But regardless of who's underneath the hood or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is the consistency of that samurai western feel that they promised, which they're delivering 100% in my opinion. Now, I don't think every episode should connect, because let's face it, what happened in the first 3 episodes on Navarro with the clan coming out and saving him at the end, and then they saying this is the way. Now he's on the run. So the whole remainder of the episodes, him protecting the kid, lone wolf and cub, and he's going to be on the run. So he tried to find sanctuary. Didn't work out. As he's leaving sanctuary, he gets Pearl Harbored from the guy in space, messes up his ship. He has to land to the nearest planet in order to get it fixed. Happens to be Tatooine. Goes to Tatooine, boom, looking for work. He bumps into freaking dollar store Han Solo. I forgot the guy's name, Toro something or other. And this guy, tries to use him to get the chick from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., who I thought was a fantastic character. Now, they capture her. Before they capture her, they bump into the Sand People, which is another throwback. But I love the fact that they stated that, you know what, when the Torah goes to him, the Sand People are savages. You know, they're animals. All right, they're primitives, and they're like, no, they were here first. That because he's trying to say, oh, they're trying to take over everyone's land. They're mad that we're on. They're trying to take. They're like, no, we took their land from them. So it's almost very very similar to like Indians. Oh, I'm sorry, Native Americans. You're on mute, Doc.
We call them Native American. We call them Native American.
Hold up, Native Americans. Then in that case, all of us are fucking Native Americans. We were born here. We are natives to this fucking country.
No, okay? I know that. But what I'm saying is, and then they use the sign language, which is great. And that was the first actor ever, deaf actor, to be played in Star Wars. He played the Sand Raider, the Tusken Raider. So I thought that was great. He bartered with them, gave the guy the binoculars.
The binocs.
And then they went around their way. And then they saw what they said. What was that thing called? The dewback?
Yep.
The dewback, yeah. The dewback.
And that was a trap set up by
again. Also another throwback to
I knew you were gonna pop.
Hey, Ho Chi Minh.
Episode 3. The whole thing was rife with fucking fan service to everything. The dewbacks, the Tusken Raiders, the droids, the cantina. Oh, we didn't talk about the cantina. Who was the bartender at the cantina?
A droid.
But not just any droid. It was EV-99, who was Jabba the Hutt's torture droid inside of the.
Is it the same droid, or is it the same type? Is it the same droid, or is it the same? Because that barge blew up.
Yes.
No one survived.
They didn't say it was. I doubt it is. But and then when in episode 4 when Luke and Obi-Wan walk into the bar, what is the first thing that the bartender, whose name by the way is Wooher, says to them? We don't serve their kind here. And now you got one of them who's actually serving everybody there.
Yep.
And they did the pan around. They showed all the aliens. We saw one that looked similar to one that was fantastic. Again,
Wolfman, was there Wolfman there?
No, he wasn't there. Immediately, there was some bug guy was there. Immediately, they give you that, that throwback, that whole, what we close our eyes and can recite, from memory of the cantina.
Even when he was walking to the cantina, you saw the little spaceman. You saw them all.
Yeah, of course, it was great. So that part I really appreciated. I did like all the fan throwbacks. I really did. It was appreciative, but Fennec Shan, they in the 5 minutes that she was on screen, they developed her well, and then dead.
Is she?
She got shot. She was lying
shot
there
in the stomach.
She was lying there for a little bit. Who knows? But I appreciate they bring her back because I thought she was a great character.
Someone was saying if she wasn't dead, how come Mando didn't bring her in for the bounty? And I said, well, listen, he can't bring her in the bounty because he's wanted by the guild. This was a guild bounty. He was getting paid underneath the table by Toro. But because he shot Toro and he took his money anyway, he didn't need to go for the bounty. And that is when we see the chingy ching ching of the Spurs at the end of the episode, which the Spurs are the same exact sound that you hear from Boba Fett in Cloud City when he walks into the dining room area when Vader goes, would be honored if you would join us.
Is that true?
Yeah, guaranteed.
My son's
sounds like a possible.
My son's watching Empire right now. I gotta go ask him.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'm telling you, it is. I saw it.
That's fucking Giancarlo Esposito. That's what that is.
Yeah, you know what?
Hold on. Then why didn't they show the face?
Because they're marking out punks like you. That's the reason why.
No. It's either Boba Fett or it's Cad Bane. Those are my two choices.
Now, on the internet, that seems to be the most popular theory, that it's Cad Bane. Yeah.
But here's the deal. Cad Bane supposedly died in the unfinished version between the shootout between him and Boba Fett. So now does that get finished and be put in the last episode of Clone Wars? Where Boba Fett gets the dent in the helmet from Cad Bane, and then, he shoots Cad Bane at the same time?
So he's in a position where if they want to use him, they could sort of do something, right? And
no, it's either one or the other. Either the unfinished footage that people have seen, gets finalized, and they throw it in Clone Wars. And then if Cad Bane dies in Clone Wars, then he can't be in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well, we won't find out till after the season's over anyway. But I personally think it's Boba Fett.
Right.
I don't
Hey,
think it's
man.
I don't think it's Giancarlo Esposito, because Giancarlo Esposito's a Moff. He's a Grand Moff.
Yeah, but the boots looked fucking clean, right?
Yeah. It didn't look like Boba's boots to me.
It's probably not. It's probably a new outfit.
They look nice and fucking clean.
Yeah,
bro.
it's probably a new outfit because
If
Boba
they fucking give me Boba Fett with the new outfit, I'm gonna be angry. Just let you know.
Yo, listen, man. I don't want to see
Hold on a second.
Boba Fett in a fucking.
Aftermath, they stated that they found one of those ships that the Jawas were in, and they had Mandalorian armor that was scorched by acid. And many people thought that was Boba Fett's armor, and he left it there because it was ruined because of the Sarlacc pit.
I remember that,
so
yes.
If that's the case, then of course they'll probably give Boba Fett a new look and new armor, maybe different color. Who knows?
Yeah,
at the end of the day, all Mandalorians look the same anyway.
No, because Boba's armor wasn't made of Beskar.
No, it wasn't. It was called something steel. Same
Plastic
thing with
and shit. I don't know. Paper mache.
There. Anyhow, so that's episode 5. Did we miss anything in episode 5?
Okay, so listen, man. You know,
they killed
one
Toro.
question. Who?
They killed bootleg Han Solo.
Oh, right. Yeah. Good. Thank God. Listen. So what's going on? So why? So the guild doesn't operate out of Tatooine anymore. They don't do anything there. So why can't they have a presence there? Just because there's no hut?
Well, the way I looked at it, it was just like it's like the mob. Once the mob got taken down and all the bosses from the crime families went under, what happened to the mob? It got replaced by the government. You know what I'm saying? So
spoken like a true conspiracy theorist.
I'm not. How's that a conspiracy theorist? What do the mobs do? They shake you down for money, right? What does the government do? They shake you down for money. They call it taxes.
Yeah, but then, right, you would think that Tatooine would be ripe for a fucking war, for like, or not even a war, but for like a
takeover,
like crime. Yeah, takeover.
Maybe
like crime.
That territory is wide open now.
Yeah, but what do they got over there?
It was a huge spaceport. It was an enormous spaceport. Shit was coming in.
Yeah, because Jabba was running everything. What else? And the Empire was running stuff. Now there's no more Jabba. There's no more Empire. There's no more Uncle Lars. What's left on Tatooine? Jawas and moisture farmers. What else?
But there's a lot of fucking crime. What do you call it? Syndicates.
You might be right.
Fucking Star Wars. So why didn't any of them go and
lay claim? Maybe they will. Maybe
they will. I guess.
Maybe it was just a snippet, so you guys can get like we said, fan service.
Right.
You don't want to go too far deep down the rabbit hole of Tatooine.
Story for another day.
Exactly, because then everything gets convoluted and it becomes a cluster muck, like a six-way, in a wrestling match. Anyhow, so then this guy Toro decides to point the gun to Baby Yoda's head. Mandalorian shoots him, and they bounce. End of the episode.
Oh yeah, before we finish that though, I enjoyed the scene where Fennec Shan was shooting at them, and they were blinding her with the flares, and they were coming through.
Flares. Yeah, that was cool.
And Mando took some legit damage with a high power rifle to the Beskar, threw him off his speeder, busted him up.
That's another thing. They used the speeders from episode 2. That was dope.
Yep. But he took some shots, which was pretty dope.
So Beskar is the shit.
Yeah, that's definitely where it's at.
It's like the NFO of metal.
That's right, baby.
For life.
Well, I'm going to ask a question that's going to dovetail into the beginning of the next episode, unless we're finished. Shall I? So we start off the Mandalorian with the Mandalorian in his shitty armor, right?
Right.
But meanwhile...
You mean the one you bought in the Hot Toys version?
Yes, unfortunately. And I'll buy the Beskar one, fuck it too. Unfortunately, but then he's speaking to the guy from Sons of Anarchy in the first episode, in the next episode, and he's like,
marked out for.
Exactly, I totally marked out for it. And he's like, yeah, we used to roll back in the days, and when we were younger. So clearly, the Mandalorian is not a new bounty hunter. Why did it take him so long? If he was, it sounded like it was at least a decade ago that he was hanging out with Mark Boone Jr. from Sons, riding with the Sons of Anarchy and Jax Teller. Great show, by the way, if you haven't watched it. How come he didn't get any fucking armor 10 years ago?
Can I answer that?
Yes, that's why I asked it.
Okay. Unless you want first crack, Cyril.
Nah, man, you got it.
After the purge, all the Beskar was mainly seized by the Empire, so it was very scarce, very rare, almost like a mint condition vinyl Cape Jawa.
Wow, that's legitimate. Okay, I'm slowly understanding right now.
Gotcha. So plus the armor that people wear gets passed down in the house, like Sabine Wren's armor from Rebels has been passed down from generation to generation, and in House Wren for like hundreds of years. She just decided to paint it up to her liking when and change it up whenever she wanted to.
To make it punk colors.
Yeah, whatever. But she could be fucking rainbows and puppies on it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, with this guy's armor, it was probably passed down, and he kept it out of tradition. And obviously, there wasn't enough Beskar to get things done, fully get covered in Beskar. But that's why he took that job, to bring in Baby Yoda. And that's why he gave in Baby Yoda. He sold Baby Yoda for the Beskar.
Did the Empire repossess the armor?
Yeah.
Did they repossess armor?
They could have, and probably melted it down to Beskar blocks. Why not?
That would I be curious about if they actually did that. Then
didn't they fund a lot of the war through the Beskar with the fucking Beskar?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Somebody got to pay for them Death Stars.
What?
Somebody got to pay for them Death Stars.
Definitely. They don't build themselves.
Yeah. Taxpayers' dollars, bro.
Exactly. All right, so episode 6.
Even the Lego ones are expensive.
Yes, they're very expensive. Episode 6, The Prisoner.
The Prisoner.
Right. Starts off him landing his ship. Again,
I would pop. Sorry to cut you off. I would pop if episode 7 was The Butcher.
The Butcher.
Just saying.
That's gonna be the last one.
Starts off him landing the ship again. No explanation of where he's been, or how he's going, or how he got this actual job, because there was no transmission. But obviously, he has a history with this guy. I think, what was his name? Ren something. I don't know what they called him. Let's call him Mark Boone Jr. because that's his actor name. Who had a fantastic death in Sons of Anarchy. Did you watch Sons of Anarchy, Pop, or no?
Yeah, dude.
Amazing.
I saw 5 seasons in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's how good that show is. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it jumped the shark the last season, dude.
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
Yeah, a lot of them do it.
Nowhere to go. Anyway, so everybody's fucking cool and reminiscing and chilling, and I got a job for you, blah blah blah. And Mando had to know from the get-go this was going to be a setup.
No, of course.
He's not an idiot. He had to fucking realize that this was all bad news. Takes the job anyway, and then we're introduced to the crew that's going to show up. We got Bill Burr, who actually thought for a guy who's a non-actor did a pretty good job in the role.
He did fantastic.
Yeah, he played a specific role that he needed to, and he was perfect for it.
He was perfect. You know what? This was the first episode where the crew of the week or the bad guys of the week or whatever didn't really feel that way. Man, they felt like I'm watching a part of a long film. It didn't feel like, oh look, these are the fucking jobbers this week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Bill Burr's hilarious. Tries to set it up that he's the boss and doing whatever else. Then we meet the droid Zero, who I thought was actually pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, great design. Looked like a bug.
It looked like a bug. There was a similar droid back in the original trilogy, the Death Star droid, that had a similar kind of look to it, that kind of bug eye look to it. But it was a cross between that. It was a little bit of Forlom in there, which was a kind of 3PO influence.
Yeah,
and he was
black
cool too.
3PO kind of, except that head and shit.
Yeah,
there is a black in the Dr. Aphra comic.
Yep,
there's a black
000. That's the one. So he was cool, and then we get to see the Devorian, the devil guy, who was played by what's his name?
The guy from
Famous actor
Highlander, right?
Clancy Brown.
Yes, Clancy Brown. He's also the voice. He's also a voice on Rebels.
Wait. Is he the guy from Highlander?
Yes, he is the guy in Highlander.
It is, right?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. He's like a character actor who's been around for years and years. He's great. He's a great actor. Yep.
Absolutely.
I looked at him. I'm like, that face looks really familiar.
Yeah, dude, that's what I thought too. And I'm like, nah, it's not him. Somebody else. I know. But then I saw on Twitter or Instagram a picture of him with the horns on without the red paint.
Yep.
I was like, oh, it was him. I was right.
And then we get to see Xian, who's the Twi'lek chick, who, by the way,
she was awesome, dude.
She was fucking smoking hot.
Well, which actress is that?
She was this chick called Natalia Tana, something like that. She was in Game of Thrones. She played the wildling that was with the Star Kid in Game of Thrones.
No way.
Do you know nothing, Jon Snow?
Yeah, no, not that one. She was with Bran Stark, the one that was like his protector when he was with Hodor.
Oh, okay.
She's a pretty hot chick. She's if you look at her other photos, but I don't know why she looks just so sexy in that Twi'lek outfit. Those fucking teeth and the tongue. I was just like, oh man.
I don't think so. I don't think it was her look. I think it was her
attitude.
Yeah. The way she carried herself was just totally badass.
Yeah.
The groove.
Yep. I like it a lot.
And you know what? Apparently, so did Mando.
Yeah, right.
Mando he was in there, boy.
Yeah.
Like, legitimate. They call we get luckily enough on the preface of us doing the new Who's Moreover this week for the main show, we're doing Razor Crest versus Slave One. We get to see a little bit more of the Razor Crest and what it's about and why it's a special ship and why he's keeping it around and why they needed it, because of its ability to be cloaked from both Rebel and Imperial ships.
It's not on the database either. It's not like ragged or tagged.
Yeah, he's got he has no VIN number. He scratched the VIN number out of the Puerto Rico style, baby, in the Bronx. And then they
I think he bought that ship from Chichi Fugiera, whatever his name is.
Todd
Chuchi McFarlane over there.
He calls what's his name? Bill Burr calls it. It looks like a Canto Blight slot machine.
Yeah,
which I pop for.
I pop for that too.
And then he also talks about the fact that he got pissed off that he called him a stormtrooper because I wasn't a stormtrooper.
Yes,
yeah, I caught that one. Yeah,
I popped.
He's a sharpshooter. Yeah. He was like, well, that ain't saying much. I wasn't a stormtrooper.
I popped for that one.
That's how you know. That's how you know the people involved in making this are deep cuts, real Star Wars fans.
They're paying attention.
They are.
There's one thing that we haven't spoken about, and I think it's probably obvious why it's the case, but it's one thing that's been threaded through all the episodes. It's the fact that the Mandalorian hates droids.
Yeah.
I haven't touched base on why, but actually, I have.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the whole battle droid thing when he was a kid, stuff from there. Because right from the very, very beginning, that was one of the first things that we introduced to him when he got the Uber, the galactic Uber. He's like, I don't want the droid one, I want a human one.
Yeah,
and he kicked him out. And then when the ship was getting fixed, the last episode, he didn't want any droids. So,
racism, bro.
But he did let the droid drive this ship. He had no choice.
Yeah, I don't think he had a choice on that one. So we see that.
Mando's racist.
Which I'm sure, because they've mentioned it now 4 fucking times, it's going to pop out. And it's eventually going to come forth. And I'm sure it's going to be from when he was a kid. So the crew gets together. He knows he's up for a suicide mission. They're talking about this whole freeing whomever from the rebel blockade trooper and how it's fucking crazy and how he doesn't want to do it. And he gets convinced into doing it. Then we had the whole interaction with them all in the ship, which I thought was great. It was hilarious, especially when they were telling him to take his helmet off, and they're like, "Oh, what are you, a gungan underneath there?" Me did not want to take my helmet off. I popped for that when Bill Burr did the fucking Jar Jar Binks voice. I cracked up. It was great. And then, Clancy Brown is trying to fuck with his weapons. They get all into a tussle, whatever. They drop into the ship. They lock on.
But you know what, man? Let's talk about that scene there where they all were trying to get him to take off his helmet. The fucking Twi'lek said, "I know who you really are."
Yep.
Now, I guess he. So does that mean that he did remove his helmet in front of another person?
I don't
You
know.
know, they knocked boots, right?
Yeah,
They didn't say it,
I,
but at the same time, Bill Burr, when he saw Baby Yoda, he goes, "Did you guys make that?"
that was hilarious.
that was awesome, man.
Insinuating that was the love child of them two. But
Yep.
he could have just been busting his chops, obviously. But I think she said, "I know who you really are" because of some kind of uh scenario that went down in the past that they shared. You know what I mean? Because remember how like Black Widow says I have too much red ink on my margin or my whatever in the Avengers.
Yeah, my
And
file.
they keep talking about Budapest or whatever.
Yep.
Same thing here. I forgot the name of where they mentioned it. She goes, "Remember that time in
Yeah.
so and so? You
Atu
like
Street or some shit like
something
that.
like that." And they're like, "You liked it. I know who you really are." You know what I mean? Trying to say that him playing this good guy babyface role is him trying to make amends for his past sins. Or,
Okay,
you know what I mean? Or something to that extent.
right.
Yep.
That's what I got from it. But I think they could have had it. But at the same time, if he never took his mask off, how the hell are they gonna have a love interest? You know what I mean?
Hey, listen. I put a couple of fucking masks on chicks' head before I fucked them. It's not as difficult as you think it is.
Paper bag, plastic bags, even.
Exactly. One for you, one for me, just in case you're
Listen, just because you wear sheets with your wife, I mean that's a different story. Dude.
Hey, we don't do that.
Only on Halloween when you're Casper, right? Anyhow, so come on, continue.
So they drop into the prison, and then we get the legitimate action that happens from there. So they're all kind of sneaking around, blah blah blah, whatever. And the Clancy Brown shoots one of the mouse droids, which again throw back to the old Death Star droids, which is funny because those were Death Star droids, and then they repurposed them for the Rebel Alliance.
Interesting, yeah.
And then we get those chappy looking battle droids that come out, the security droids with that square box helmet.
Like Rom and shit.
Exactly. Oh, that's a track right there for sure.
Damn, I'm old.
Mando sneaks around the back, takes
Pulls a
care of
Batman.
business. Yep, takes care of business.
Laid the smackdown.
He got fucked up a little bit here and there, and they all watched him and to see I think half of it because they knew they were going to kill him anyway, and the other half because they don't want to get involved.
Yeah, but at the same time, I agree with you. But at the same time, I think they wanted to just enjoy the fucking guy work and shit, too.
Yeah, they want to see if you.
I got that sense too.
Yeah, because he was hyped up, and they wanted to see what the hype was. So, he got dinged up a little bit during that battle. Did a lot of cool tricks, slicing them with the vibro knife, the legs, and yanking them forward, pulling their heads off, blah blah blah. So he took care of the business there. One of the better fight scenes we've seen, similar to the Stormtrooper one that we had in the third episode, when he was surrounded and he had to kind of use his stealth and his guile to get stuff done. And then they go, and did you guys see the prisoners that were sitting inside the prison?
See Rio?
I saw Rio. Yeah, well, it was the Rio species. And then there was some guy in the background that I kind of caught a really quick glimpse of. He looked like some guy with black hair that kind of looked over the top of the thing, and they showed him for a split second. I got to go back and kind of focus in on that and see if it was anybody spectacular. Then they showed that big thing that starts screaming.
Yeah.
Which I sent you guys the meme that I had from like a month and a half ago that I never sent you guys of what Chewbacca looks like if they shave him, and it looked like Chewbacca if they shaved him. It looked like a Wookiee if they shaved him.
I gotta check it out again.
So yeah. Pause that one scene and look at that photo I sent you guys because it looks like a shaven Wookiee.
Well, yeah, we got to remember one thing though. This is this is a republic, a new republic.
New
ship.
Republic.
Yep.
It's not an imperial ship, so it's not like it's the Empire just locking people up. These are criminals that,
right?
You know what I mean. So anyhow, keep going.
He's a legit bad guy for sure. So then they open the main door. And they get the Republic guard who's sitting over there. Who
that was?
That was Dave Filoni?
No. That was the voice actor of Anakin Skywalker.
What's his name?
That was him, really?
Yeah, I got his name right here. Hold on a second.
Well, Filoni was somebody in this episode. He was one of the X-Wing pilots, right?
Yeah.
Yo, wait a minute. The fucking big one, right?
The first one.
Yeah.
Yo, I looked at him and I'm like, yo, who is that, man? That guy.
And then the Asian woman is the chick who's directing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah, it's Deborah
Oh,
Chow,
yeah?
who is the
Mhm.
and the black guy
Fucking
was
awesome.
Rick Famuyiwa, whatever his name is, the guy who directed this episode, the guy who did Dope. That was the guy who was the black X-wing
Nice.
fighter.
Fred
And the guy's
Yehi?
name, what?
Fred Yehi? No, yeah, sorry.
I said Rick Famuyiwa, whatever his
Okay.
name is. And Nat Lanter was the guy who is the rebel officer. That's the dude who does
Anakin.
Anakin's voice. I shared it to you guys on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see that little thing on Instagram of Scion Art, the White Raven statue?
Yeah. Yep.
Spiro?
The white
I might
Revan-
have.
the white Revan statue, yeah.
This thing.
Oh shit, no. Yo,
Take a
that's
look.
fucking dope.
It is dope.
Is
That's
that
your
new?
boy. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Is that
It's
new?
not, all I know, it's not canon.
Come on,
I'm not
guys.
saying
Come on, guys. Come on. So they have the face off there where there's 50 guns pointed at everybody's face in different ways, and Mando's trying to resolve it peacefully because he knows they're going to get heat on him if they kill a rebellion guard, and also the fact that he's holding that little tracking fob that if he clicks, it's going to send in the reinforcements. So the Twi'lek chick gets a little bit anxious, a little bit annoyed, flicks the fucking knife into the
Typical.
guy's neck, puts him down. What'd you say?
Typical, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Kills him, but not before he presses the button. So he pressed the button. Now now they're on the run again. So now they're kind of racing through the
Got
ship
20 minutes before the people show up.
to save what we find out eventually is going to be her Twi'lek ugly ass brother, who again
That
the Mando has
motherfucker was ugly.
the Mando has a history with it. So he they get him out. Mando's like, all right, now this is it. He realized that right then and there that he was fucked. They push him into the thing, lock him up, and then dip out of there. They're trying to make it back to the end of the ship so they can escape with Zero. The Mando smartly draws in a droid, uses his key fob to get him out of there, and then the hunt really begins. The episode fabulous. And then this part made it that much more fabulous because
It's almost like a horror movie.
dude, what movie did it
Yes.
feel like?
Yes.
What movie did it feel like when specifically at the end when he was going for the Bill Burr guy? I got a very
Dark Knight Rises.
Nope, not Dark Knight Rising.
It did feel a little bit like Batman.
It did. The fucking train, the sewer scene, right?
Imagine the movie in space, just like this movie was.
Aliens.
Exactly. It felt like Alien. It felt like Alien with the flash of red light in the back. You see him kind of hiding, and then all of a sudden he's gone and he's back again. It felt like Alien to me when he was tracking them, hunting them, especially the last part with Bill Burr. So going back though, he knocks off who first? He gets the
big dude, Burr.
The big dude, the Devorian, who fucked him up pretty bad during that process. Yeah. And then he flamed him right in the face.
Thank God for fucking Beskar.
Pop as he flames him right in the fucking face.
But it had no effect. He no-sold it like a super kick on the
shit,
Indies.
He's a devil, that's the reason why. He probably enjoys the heat. And then he hammered him with the door. We're like, oh yeah, okay, he got him. And he's lifting it up.
Yeah, but that kind of reminded me of like Return of the Jedi on the Rancor. I thought he got him. But false finish.
He lifted it up and then he smashed him for the side. But listen,
which I popped.
I totally popped.
When that happened, I went like this. This is my actual reaction. When he dropped the first door on him, I went, oh, just like Return of the Jedi, dope. Then he started lifting it. I'm like, uh-oh, this guy's fucked. And then he closed the side doors. And I went, ha, ha. That's exactly what I did. I popped like a little kid.
So listen, I'm going to go back and say something. In reality, in the Star Wars universe, I'm sure that the government and OSHA would make those doors child safely, and they would not close down on a human being if they're standing underneath them, because that sounds very dangerous. That doesn't make any sense. You have to recall those doors and fucking retrofit them with a device to make it not drop on somebody's head. So, all right, listen, I'll suspend my disbelief for the show. It's fine. But
the bracket you fucking nailed to the fucking wall and shit with the rope and all that
exactly.
shit.
The dresser.
Yeah, for the dresser. which I never do, by the way. I'm waiting for somebody to get, exactly.
Fucking does, man.
fucking my walls up for that, please. My wife moves that shit 25 times a year. So,
Mazel tov.
thank you. So he gets the red guy, which we presume that he's dead, and then he goes after the chick, Xian. She lights him up with the knives, catches him in the shoulder. I thought he stabbed her at one point, but then they pan to the front and they show her still alive with a knife to her neck, which I think they could have taken that scene out of there because I'd rather would seen her kind of like pop up to look like he stabbed her. Because, yeah, we knew at that point that he left her alive because he didn't cut her right then and there, which the other guys, they didn't give us that opportunity. And then he gets Bill Burr in that whole, like, a very alien-like scene where he's kind of tracking him to the thing, and Bill Burr turns around and goes, no! He gives a no pop.
You know, that scene, you're absolutely right about that alien feel. And when the lights went out, it definitely had this, like, horror film, like, tone to it. But it reminded me so much of that scene in The Dark Knight Rises where they're in the sewer, and every time the fucking guns go off, in the muzzle flash, you can see Batman getting closer and closer. That was fucking sick. Yeah. You know, I definitely feel that this episode, they showed us that, you know what, this motherfucker, when he doesn't want to fucking play, he doesn't play, man. You know what I'm saying? He's
100%. It
that
really
was awesome.
Gave you the
the
real deal.
Yeah,
exactly. Which I loved. It was amazing. And then he makes a deal with the brother, who was a piece of shit to begin with, which was great. You need those piece of shit characters. And we don't know if he's going to make the deal or not at the end. And then he saves Baby Yoda, who's getting tracked by the playing hide and seek with the fucking with the death droid in the ship after he learns about the bounty. Yep.
He puts one and one together and realizes that this thing is worth something.
Yep, exactly. From Apollo Creed. I love calling
Reef Cargo.
I love calling people by their previous character names. And flies them back to Sons of Anarchy. And I was waiting for the heel turn. I was like, all right, is he gonna? I thought he put like a bomb on his back, and the second he took off, he was going to detonate, and that would have been great if it exploded him. But he did it in a better way. He left the tracking device on him as he got his money.
I like when he got out and he goes, "Where's everybody else?" And he goes, "I thought it was no questions asked." He goes, "Yep, it is no questions asked." Yep. That was that simple. Yep. Gave him his fucking money, and that was it.
Tracking fob is stuck on his back.
Dude, that was fucking. Because I totally forgot about it. Everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. That was amazing. Suddenly we see 4 X-Wings pop in with 3 X-Wings. Three. Yeah. And I was actually
but before they popped in, hold on a second. Before they popped in, and he gets out of the back and he backs out of the docking bay. That's when Sons of Anarchy dudes like kill him, and they start bringing up the gunner ship.
Yep.
So it was a setup. He was going to try to blow him out.
Oh no, for sure, 100%. And I'm actually surprised he turned his back to them too as he walked onto the ship.
Yeah.
3 X-Wings pop out, and very uncharacteristically of the Rebel Alliance, don't ask any questions and just light the fucking place up.
Well, to be fair, they did say, "Hey, look, they have a gunner ship," so they did it in self-defense. You know what I mean? It's not like they just went all rogue and shot the place up, fucking Billy the Kid style.
The Alliance shot first.
They took a page out of Greedo's book.
They did, and then all of a sudden, the new characters that we introduced are pretty much dead, except those other bounty hunters who are now in that jail over there. Because he was
dead.
Yes, who he did leave them alive, which I was surprised.
Let me tell you something about that, man. At first, I was pissed off. I was like, dude, why the fuck did he leave him alive, man? These motherfuckers, number one, they're going to come after him. Number two, they really want to take the helmet off of him. Kill these motherfuckers. Don't give them a chance. But, then I'm like, you know what? This is good. This is good. And
well, it's good because now they can come back.
Mainly that, but it also showed how fucking skillful and talented this fucking guy really is. All this time, we're here thinking, yo, man, this guy can't fight. This guy can't do this. Everybody's touting him to be, but bro, he dispatched a band of ruthless fucking killers, and realistically, when you're dealing with people like that, 9 times out of 10, you won't have a fucking choice but to put them down permanently. Yep. All right, but he was able to dispatch all of them and lock them all up together. Now, yeah, we are supposed to, dispense with disbelief, and all right, fine. But I started thinking, just like I do with fucking any movie, video games. It's like, do you know how hard it is to capture all these people, bring them alive to the same spot? You're fucking taking more risks
every time you open that cell.
Fucking not. But no, man, that was great. Overall, I fucking love the episode. This episode definitely gave me more of what I was expecting from this show. And shit, man, 2 more left, right?
Yeah.
2 more left.
I thought this was the best episode of the season so far.
100%.
Yes.
100% agree.
But I feel that going forward, they got to play for keeps. The next episode cannot feel like filler. Listen, man, you got 2 more. You got to go strong, man.
Well, I guarantee you we'll see Giancarlo Esposito next episode.
And we have to,
with his Death Troopers, right? Because he's a Moff.
That's a fight that I want to see.
And then we'll see Boba Fett in episode 8.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
It'll be the closing shot.
I'm all for it.
Going for the Fett. This was definitely the best episode so far. It like you said, it had everything from top to bottom. I think 5. If you didn't give me all the fan service in 5, that would have been the worst episode of the season.
Well, yeah, but that's what it was set up to be. It was supposed to be a tribute, homage, whatever, throwback to the original trilogy. And the one before that was the episode where you got the character, the chick, what's her name, Cara Dune.
Yep.
And then the episode before that was the Mandalorian's episode. The episode was that. It was the episode where we get the Force powers. And then we got the first episode where we got the kick-ass scene in the beginning with the Mandalorian who gets introduced. And then at the end, we find out it's Baby Yoda. And we all pop.
I get it.
In my opinion, every episode delivered. I think certain episodes are better than the other. And I think the problem is people, once you cross that threshold, the way the people are nowadays, especially the Star Wars fans, you give them an episode that's, let's say, a 10, they expect every episode to be a 10.
Yeah, no.
God forbid an episode's a 7 or an 8, they're like, it sucked. And they focused on all the negatives. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I'm with you.
But I got a question to ask you about this episode. Maybe you guys can answer it. When that one part when Rey was running and she jumped from the forest to the Death Star, was that clever editing or did that really happen?
I'm pretty sure that was clever editing.
All right,
I don't know, man. Anyways, when Rey was fucking jumping from one point to the other, do you guys think that was clever editing or?
People are home like, what the fuck did I just miss?
Well, you know what? Then those are, I fucking hope so, because those would be the new listeners.
Yes, please.
But everybody by now knows what the fuck we are talking about. Listen, man, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna wrap myself out in this episode. This son of a bitch, bro. Like I said before, I was only talking up to episode 5. Yo, the moment I saw fucking Baby Yoda, I'm like, oh man, this fucking guy, man. He started to make me fall in love again. The fucking face. Yo, my wife came in. She was like, oh my God, he's so fucking cute.
He lifted that little hand like he was about to use the Force.
Yeah. Oh, that part right there.
And then when he got shot, I thought the guy malfunctioned. I thought he did something internally with the electronics. Yeah, and then he looked at his hand. And I'm like, what?
He's like, damn, No, but yo, dude, I marked out. I fell in fucking love again, all over again, and yeah, man. I just want to see. I want to see this fucking Baby Yoda. I want them to rip my heart out. I want to see him in fucking danger where I'm questioning. Oh shit, this is it. The way they did in that one episode where the fucking sniper had him in his sights and shit. But they, now, man, they need to fucking step it up.
Well, hold on a
It's
second.
fucking time. It's fucking time to go home now, bro.
Your heart didn't stop for a second when Bill Burr was holding Baby Yoda, and then when
And
he
he
landed
dropped
the
it?
ship, he dropped the
He
baby.
dropped him on his head.
Oh,
I was like, "Oh my god, the
not
baby!"
really, because that's something very
Mom,
common.
the baby.
That's something very common these days, and we see the fucking effects of fucking babies being dropped every day.
Yeah, they become SJWs.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir right now. I see that every single day at work.
There
Let me
you
tell
go.
One thing about the Mando though is that he's very difficult to rattle. So two points in this episode where I was impressed with his ability to kind of just had that poker face and not even fucking move. The first one was when they introduced Shan and she pulled a knife out to his neck and he didn't even move.
He pulled it like a Batman when the
Yep.
Batmobile stops at his toes. Yep.
Just sat right there exactly. And then the second one was when Bill Burr picked the Baby Yoda and he goes, "Oh, I think I'm gonna start with this thing and keep it." He could have flipped out and be like, "Oh no, give me my baby back," and he didn't. He kept the poker face, kept like, yeah, it's no big deal, whatever, and then let the kind of thing play out, which again proves the fact that he's the best there is at what he does.
Yo,
He's not Wolverine,
what,
first of all. Second of all, I like the one line where Sons of Anarchy guy looks at him and goes, "What's the face for?" "Oh, that must be gratitude." Meanwhile, he's underneath the helmet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yo,
Yep.
what are the fucking chances that Bill Burr had ad-libbed that one line about him in the Twi'lek and shit?
Probably. Who knows? I think when they casted him, they casted Bill Burr. They casted him and they built his character based around his comedic timing. Like,
100%.
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like they based it on a comedian. They realized he's the best guy for the job, and this guy hit a home run, dude. I'm telling you, if they did a spin-off show just about those four pulling off jobs, like Beckett and his crew, I would watch in a heartbeat because that shit was badass. I liked it a lot. So
yeah, it was definitely cool. And they're the villains that I've been wanting to see in a show like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. They definitely stepped up their game.
I think they were definitely missing.
So we got two more left. Any predictions?
Well, obviously we're going to see Giancarlo Esposito in this one or the next one. I'm hoping it's going to be this one. For sure he'll be there. There's got to be some somewhat resolution between what happened on Navarro, or some payback for that with the Empire, and I'm assuming it's going to be through Giancarlo Esposito. So I'm looking forward to that. Listen, before the show even aired, I said my biggest thing was I want the last scene of this fucking show to be Boba Fett, because there's nothing that's going to get us more pumped for season 2 than showing that. Nothing at all. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
What if it's Boba Fett with an evil Baby Yoda as his sidekick?
Oh my god! Look at this.
A dark side Baby Yoda.
It's like Nemesis Prime and fucking Transformers.
It's like the Gnat from the Smurfs. Remember the purple Gnat used to bite the Smurfs on the tail and they turn purple? And they go Gnat, Gnat, Gnat.
I remember
now,
those guys.
am I the only one who remembers that on Channel 4?
That must have been like season 8 of Smurfs where I stopped watching. I'm a Gargamel guy, okay?
I gotcha. Well, I think the last episode we're going to see IG-11 come back because Taika Waititi's directing the last episode, and he voiced IG-11, so I think he's going to come back reprogrammed or whatever after the Mandalorian because he shot him in the head. So that's one thing I think. I think Boba Fett will be the last shot too. So that's what I think.
Well, I would love for the season to end with Boba Fett being called in. That would be great. That would be awesome, and we'd be fucking dying with anticipation for season 2.
Oh.
And I don't know how we'll be able to fucking contain ourselves. But another thing is, I think we definitely need. I think they need to start going home from episode 7. I think we will see Giancarlo Esposito and the Death Troopers, because I think they need to like start right now stacking up the fucking chips against this guy. What I want to see is I want to see him push to the limit where it looks like he has no fucking chance. Now, I don't see this happening because of the type of what do you call it, scoundrels they are. But what are the odds that uh, they return the favor to the Mandalorian, not killing them, and they come to like save his ass and shit.
It's not gonna happen.
You know, that's far fetched, but I wouldn't put it past Disney doing something like that. You know, but I think that we're gonna see. I think that I'm definitely gonna get my wish of fucking Baby Yoda coming really close to fucking dying.
Yep.
If not dying, because
He won't die.
no, dude, it would be crazy. It would be great TV, but it would destroy them going forward with merchandising and other stories.
You know how many people would sign off from Disney Plus if they killed
Immediately? Every kid in America was crying.
Yeah, talking about that, there's already people talking about doing that shit. That after this show ends, man. I mean,
well, they're stupid because
they are
you're gonna get the Clone Wars the last season right after this. Then you're gonna get all the Marvel shows that are supposed to drop.
Hey, listen.
You get season 2 of this. You're getting the new the dude from from what do you call it? Rogue One. What's his name? Cassian Andor.
Yeah, I mean they got plenty of stuff coming up.
So who knows? I mean, I don't know. Anyhow, let them know where they can find you guys at.
You can find me at Dr_Destroyo, DESTRROYO on the gram of Insta. Alex Arroyo MD on Twitter. Alex Arroyo on Facebook.
You can find me on Instagram, Spiro_A. Also on Instagram, on Darth_Spiridon. Handsome Reaper on Twitter. HandsomeReaper@gmail.com. And like always, send me your love mail, but most importantly, send me your hate mail.
You can find me at Greek God Papadon on Instagram and Twitter. Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek God Papadon is the YouTube channel, and Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Papadon is the Pro Wrestling Tees store. You can find the three of us every week, dropping knowledge like we went to college about a galaxy far, far away. At NFO_podcast on Twitter, New Force Order on Instagram, official New Force Order on Facebook, and you can check out our website, www.newforceorder.com, and you can send us emails regarding anything Star Wars related to newforceorder@yahoo.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for a double-sized annual, if you will, for The Mandalorian. It's been another fun-packed episode, definitely action-packed and fully stacked, reviewing Chapter 5 and 6. We're looking forward to doing it again next week. Same Mando time, same Mando channel. What you gonna do, brother, when the Mandalorian is running wild on you?